Hi, I'm Masood. I work for Accenture, and for the past 2.5 years I've been running the Fintech Innovation Lab and now lead Accenture's Open Innovation program in the UK and Ireland.
Lovely. Samad, lovely to have you here. Thank you for taking the time
Thanks.
to have a chat with us. I think you were on a panel this morning at Guildhall talking about whether fintech can fuel an economy.
Yes.
What conclusions did you draw as a panel?
Yeah, it was an interesting discussion. I think we all feel that fintech is going to be a really big part of the UK's economy going forward. My particular point was that we're still in the very early stages of this industry, and that it's going to revolutionize the way we actually define financial services as a sector, and where the boundaries are, what financial services products look like. And so it's very difficult to say how big the industry might get, because it might completely evolve into a different sort of set of services. So I think we all felt it was going to go really well. I'm not sure we all agreed on the timing or how fast that'll happen. Yeah.
There's certainly a lot of hype around it. It's fantastic that the industry is generating so much noise at the moment. How important is it, do you think, that London stays at the heart of that innovation? And how do you think we stay there?
I think it's important. I think it's almost more important that the fintech love is spread across the UK a bit more. I think we're a very London-centric economy, and the financial services sector, the investment industry, and also the digital startup scene is focused around London. And I think it would be a shame to miss the opportunity from something like the fintech revolution, to miss the opportunity to spread out more broadly across the country, particularly because one of the biggest challenges for startups in London is the cost of office space and rent for their staff. So I think it would be great if we could try and find ways to expand opportunities for startups to be set up in other parts of the country, because with the internet and with digital technologies, it's not necessary that you're based right in the city. What actually brings companies here are the investors and the digital startup scene as well, because there's a big overlap there. I don't have the answer for it, but I'd kind of like it to be less London-centric.
Yeah, it's interesting. And you talk about spreading the love. Does that extend in a sort of a bigger diversity scene to, cover women, for example, or young people? How do we get a real diverse range of people passionate about
that's
the
a very big question, right? Fintech is, again, like I say, I think it could be a launch pad to change things for the future. The new sort of fintech stuff that's happening, because it requires different sort of skills, creativity, design, user experience. These are sort of skills that are more required in this new digital age. So, as well as an understanding of financial services, obviously. So I think we'll naturally start attracting a broader range and wider range of skill sets into the industry as the industry itself expands into more interesting areas. And hopefully we'll bring more women and children, I think you were saying, into into the industry.
Yeah, fantastic.
And create more diverse sort of group.
Yeah, there's an amazing, very prestigious lineup today, for example, and from policymakers through to the investment community, as you mentioned. What about the end customer? Are we ready as consumers to embrace this landscape?
I think that's a very good question. And part of the discussion on the panel was, and the point I was trying to make is that, we see a lot about the fintech revolution. We see very little about how many customers are actually on new investment platforms or new personal finance management tools or peer-to-peer lending platforms and things. And I think it would be great to see actually how much these businesses are actually generating in terms of revenue and how many customers they have. People still trust banks, believe it or not, and they are still quite sticky. There is certainly an uptick in customers changing bank accounts since the regulations made it easier, but possibly not as much as people thought was going to happen. So again, I'd be quite interested in us sort of getting a better understanding of the customer here and where they actually are in the journey, because there's a lot of talk amongst investors and bankers and startups, and often you do miss out the customer's view.
We'll see. We'll watch with interest. Thank you very much, Samad, for your time. Lovely to meet you.
Cheers. Thank you.